Hey everyone! Before you watch this video, make sure to watch part 1, the link will be in the description. Y'all, before we get into it, please tell me you've been watching MHA Season 8. It's so incredible! I don't wanna spoil anything, but I just have to say, peak BAKUDEKU? It's so peak and we are so winning. Season 8 Episode 3 is genuinely the best thing I've ever seen in my life. If you haven't, please watch it. Anyways, now we can get on to the video. Over the next week or so, Katsuki accompanied Izuku on various movie press tour-related outings, and he continued trying his best to keep his distance, giving Izuku the cold shoulder so as to maintain a strictly professional relationship. Izuku, however, continued trying to break down the barriers Katsuki so carefully built up, worming his way into the seemingly unreachable man's life and refusing to back down. I'll try to actually introduce you to Yurika-san today. I know you've seen her a bunch of times, but it's always so busy. It'll be busy today too. I don't care to meet her. Oh come on, she's super nice. And like way more famous than me. Of course you wanna meet her. I really don't. Well, I'll introduce you anyway. There'll be time before the interview starts. Oh, and by the way, I got you this. What? Katsuki blinked in shock and looked beside himself briefly, but he couldn't keep his eyes off the road for long as he drove them both to the venue. It's a lollipop? Apparently they can help reduce the urge to smoke, you know, since there's already something in your mouth. Seriously? I don't like sweets. Just take it, give it a try, please? Katsuki looked into his eyes and felt his stomach sink. His heart rate picked up and he looked away with a scoff. Just keep hold of it till we get there. Yay? Before long they had reached the building where the interview was being held, and of course somehow a bunch of fans knew the schedule and were waiting outside. Izuku, we love you. You look so handsome. Wazuzu, I love you so much. OMG, it's the bodyguard. Hey, what's your name? What, me? They're asking about me? He frowned and glanced at the fan who yelled the question. She literally squealed and he instantly looked away again, continuing to guide Izuku through them all and into the building. Sigh, it's so hard not saying anything to them. It's better that way, gets you inside faster. But they're all waiting out there to see me. I don't know how far they've come or how long they waited. That's their choice, at least they saw you, I guess. Midoriya-kun? Oh, Yurika-san, you're already here? His pout instantly became a gleaming smile as he rushed toward the brunette, and she was smiling right back as she pulled him in for a hug. It's good to see you again. I'll be sad when this is all over and we aren't meeting up every few days. Me too, but it is pretty busy. It might be nice when things calm down a bit. Oh honey, things aren't going to calm down for you anytime soon. You're just getting started. Mirko-san said the same thing. Is it really this hectic all the time? Yeah, but you'll get used to it in no time, I'm sure. Oh, Yurika-san, this is my bodyguard. Wha? Katsuki had hoped the freckled man had forgotten his promise to introduce them, but of course he hadn't, so he sighed and held out his hand as he was pulled forward face to face with the woman. Bakugo Katsuki, nice to meet you. Oh, nice to meet you too. I've seen you online actually. What? He doesn't have social media so. I see. Never mind. We better go get set up? Katsuki watched the two of them head back over to the production crew, and as he watched from afar he couldn't shake his frown. What was that about? Did she mistake me for someone else? But Izuku was acting weird too, and there was that fan outside. Wait. His mind was whirling, but before he could start coming up with any crazy theories, the interview began and he moved closer to keep a better eye on Izuku. It was only then that he noticed who the interviewer was. Hey, it's so awesome to have you both here for an exclusive interview. The stars of this year's biggest romance movie. First off, how does it feel? Not her again. How does what feel? To have everyone so enthralled by you both. You're totally blowing up. The people adore you? It's wonderful. Having everyone's support makes me feel so blessed. And it's well deserved. I mean, I've seen Distant Hearts a dozen times now and you know, it still brings me to tears every single time. It is a tearjerker for sure. Filming those emotional scenes was the most difficult part for sure, right Midoriya-kun? We had to retake that big emotional scene so many times, mostly because of me. He would always end up crying too much, the director needed less. Bless? Well, Haruki's character did have a lot of depth. I'm sure fans would have been even more heartbroken to see you crying so hard. What was making you feel it so deeply? Oh, I guess I just get really into it when I'm acting. I convince myself that everything is real and that's why my emotions come across so strongly. So the thought of losing Eureka hurt you that badly? Cha, of course, she found a way to get it there. Well, I mean, of course. I had practically convinced myself I was Haruki, and she was the love of my life, of course I'd be distraught. On that note, surely you've seen all the discourse online, and hearing you say that really does give it some validity. What exactly are you talking about? Oh come on, the dating rumors? We can all see and feel the chemistry you two have, and if Izuku here was feeling it all for real then. I mean, it's only an acting method, it's not like real life. So you're trying to tell me there's no romance there at all? I thought we were here to answer questions about the movie. You are? This is just one burning question from fans that I just had to get to the bottom of. Well, we aren't dating, we're just actors. Katsuki felt his blood boiling as he watched Izuku squirm in his seat. He thought it was ridiculous that scummy interviewers thought they had a right to ask such invasive questions. He'd seen so much of it through the years. He hated it. While his chest squeezed with frustration, he found himself instinctively reaching into his pocket, where he usually kept his cigarettes, though this time his fingers landed on the lollipop Izuku must have slipped in there on the way inside. Despite the roll of his eyes, he pulled it out and looked at it with a sigh, unwrapped it, and popped it into his mouth. Sigh, guess it's not so bad, and at least I can do this inside public buildings. Lemon flavored. His stomach fluttered a little. He didn't like sweets, but the lemon-flavored ones were his favorite, the only tolerable flavor, really. He found himself feeling warm inside, until his mind flooded with a memory he'd long since repressed, another memory of Itsuki. When the two of them had simply been relaxing at his house, and the bubbly man had brought home a bag of Skittles, he remembers Itsuki tipping the whole bag onto the table and separating the yellow ones into a pile. He remembers his bright smile as he laughed and dragged Katsuki onto the couch, begging him to stay and watch a movie. He doesn't remember the movie, of course. He'd spent the whole night paying more attention to the man sprawled across his lap. His heart twisted, snapping him back to reality as he realized Izuku was stood in front of him with that familiar grin. Do you like it? The lolly? Oh, you just made a lucky guess with the lemon. It's good. So your favorite is lemon? Good to know. I almost got cherry, but then my brain was all like, but Katsuki is a pretty sour person, get him the sour one. I thought it was funny. Alright, haha, just tell me how the interview went. I wish people would stop saying all that stuff about me and Eureka-san. She's a lovely person, but we're just co-workers, barely even friends. And with all the stupid rumors, it's not like we could really become friends. It would only make it worse. Katsuki's instant reaction was to make a snarky comment about that just being another side effect of being famous, but as he looked into Izuku's genuinely sad eyes, that upset pout on his lips, he just felt bad. Hey, people will move on eventually, stuff like that never lasts long, they'll have something new to talk about soon enough, just wait till you do another movie, or whatever you wanna do next. I guess, I still need to think about what to do next. Well, more importantly, you need to decide what you're doing right now. Everyone is already leaving. Oh, right, let's go home. The drive home was peaceful. They'd found a middle ground on music, so it wasn't grating on Katsuki's ears and didn't blast Izuku's entirely away. So when they got back, both were in a pleasantly good mood. Alright, well, you finally have nothing planned for tomorrow, so I guess I finally get a day off. Wait, do you have any plans right now? Well, I'm off the clock now. You're home, so probably go home, work out, eat, sleep. Well, I still don't have a new chef yet, so I was wondering if you'd help me cook dinner. That is not in my job description. I know, but I'll pay you anyway, please. His hand reached out to gently grasp Katsuki's wrist as he looked up at him with huge sparkling eyes, and the blonde man instantly felt his face heating up as he looked at him. Alright, gee, stop that. I like cooking. I'll stay. I get to eat too, right? Obviously. Yay, this will be fun. He clapped his hands and headed inside, expecting Katsuki to follow, but the man had to stand in the entrance for a moment as he took a deep breath and frowned at himself. Is that really all it takes? For a cute guy to give me dem puppy eyes, I just crumble? Fucking ridiculous. He huffed before finally heading into the house and toward the kitchen, reaching the room as Izuku was frantically opening all his cupboards. I think I have enough ingredients to just make like rice, noodles and grilled chicken. Sounds good. You got veg? Like peppers and carrots? Yeah. Great. Did you actually wanna help, or can I just cook? I wanna help. I'll never get any better if I don't try. Sigh. Alright, You can follow instructions, right? Cha, I'm not a baby. Then start up the rice cooker and boil some water for the noodles. Right, on it? Katsuki got to work chopping up the veg and preparing the chicken while Izuku waited for the rice and noodles, getting distracted by watching Katsuki work. You do it like a professional. I've just had a lot of practice. Here, you try. What? Chop up the carrot. He handed Izuku the knife and the freckled man looked at him with wide eyes, gulping before looking down to hold the vegetable in place and attempt to start chopping. Katsuki watched closely, saying nothing until suddenly the knife was dangerously close to his fingers. Whoa, wait, stop, you're gonna hurt yourself? Was I really? You were literally about to slice your own thumb. Are you seriously that incompetent? I didn't notice. I'm trying. Sorry, I didn't mean to insult you. That just shocked me. Hehe, you were worried about me. Well, that part is in my job description. Nah, I just think you're starting to like me. In your dreams, sunshine. He countered playfully and Izuku giggled, subconsciously bringing a smile to Katsuki's face as he continued chopping and prepping the food. I like when you call me that. It's supposed to be an insult. But I love the sunshine. It makes me feel warm and happy. Well, it makes me want to stay indoors. Humph, just let me feel good about it. Go set the table, the food shouldn't be too much longer. Sir, yes sir. Katsuki rolled his eyes as Izuku saluted him and began to get plates and bowls and cutlery out, leaving him to finish up in peace. He's ridiculous. How am I supposed to act like I don't give a shit around him? No matter how cold I act, he just tries even harder. It's impossible. He sighed as he dished up the food before bringing it to the table. Izuku came back out to help him carry some in as well, and they finally sat down to eat. That didn't take as long as I thought. We were efficient. You actually listened to my instructions. Well, of course. I know basically nothing about cooking, so why wouldn't I listen to you? You struggle to listen to me about your safety. Oh, right. Ahem. My bad. He laughed shyly before finally gathering up a mouthful of food and giving it a try, instantly humming as the flavor hit his tongue. Oh my god, this is incredible. It's just a basic meal. My last chef must have been terrible at his job because this basic meal tastes like heaven in comparison to what he made. Well, thanks, I guess. Thank you for cooking for me. It's all right, I get to eat free food. And get paid for it. You don't have to pay me. This doesn't exactly feel like working. Really? You think? What do you mean? Well, it sounds like you're saying you enjoy my company. I don't hate it. Izuku gasped and Katsuki rolled his eyes, continuing to eat as the freckled man giggled and swung his legs back and forth under the table giddily. I was totally right. About what? That you'd come around eventually. Katsuki felt his face heating up, so he decided not to respond to the statement and instead continue eating with his eyes cast downward. I fear I'm going to start begging you to actually be my chef now. If it pays well, I'll consider it. To eat this food every day, I'd pay my whole salary. You're being dramatic, it's really not that good. Perhaps I just enjoy complimenting you. Well, I don't enjoy receiving them. Alright, then let's talk about something else. Can't we just eat? We can do both. Like what's your favorite type of food to eat? Spicy meat, anything spicy. I'm not so good with too much spice. That checks out. Hey, I can eat spicy food. I'm not like, gonna cry or anything. Your favorite is katsudon, right? Specifically my mom's katsudon. It's the best, isn't it? Your mom is a great cook. I'm honestly surprised you didn't inherit some of her skills. Just because you don't like receiving compliments doesn't mean you should give me the absolute opposite, you know. You're literally famous. Why do you need me to compliment you? Compliments are nice. Well, fuck, I dunno how to compliment you. You've gotta be able to think of something. I'm not that insufferable, right? No? You have plenty of good qualities, it's just, I find a way to see the negative in all of them. You're nice, but too nice to people who don't deserve it. You're bubbly and fun, but that can get totally annoying sometimes. You're cute, but, oh, I guess there's not a negative to that one. You think I'm cute? Oh, come on, you fucking know you're cute. Nah, besides that's still different from you thinking I'm cute. Whatever, shut up. Sigh, on the topic of me being cute, I'm literally lost with what to do about the stupid dating rumors. I know you said people would move on, but it's just so frustrating. Is this really going to happen every time I interact with another human? Yeah, pretty much, though of course this is major since you were lovers in a romance movie. I assume you kissed? Well, yeah, but we had to. It's in the script. And the people watching know that. but your acting is obviously so good that they can't help believing it's real. Humph, so because I'm good at my job I have to suffer? It's not that bad, just ignore it. Oh yeah, easy for you to say. You don't even have any social media accounts. It's the best way to live. How do you keep in touch with your friends? Well, I don't have many, but they have my number. Ugh, you're totally someone who takes 10 business days to respond to a text. What's wrong with that? At least I reply eventually. You don't have a significant other, right? What? Like, am I dating anyone? Yeah, just cause we were on the topic. No, I'm not dating anyone right now. I haven't really ever dated, not seriously at least. Oh, not at all. I mean in my early 20s I got around a bit, you know, but nothing serious. But there was totally someone though. What? Katsuki stopped eating entirely. They were pretty much done anyway, but the claim caught him off guard and he instantly lost his appetite. I just get the feeling there was someone you cared a lot about once. You don't have to talk about it though, sorry. Izuku apologized and put his cutlery down too, wringing his hands together in his lap as the guilt set in. The look on Katsuki's face wasn't one he'd expected. Maybe talking to someone about it wouldn't be so bad, getting it off my chest might be nice. Sigh, there was someone. Oh, the last person I worked for, before you, Itsuki. Izuku gasped at the name, and Katsuki could already see the pity in his eyes as he began to piece everything together. The singer? The one who, I was in charge of protecting him, but I let myself get too close. You started dating? No, it was obvious how we both felt but we never had the chance to actually say anything or go for it. But my biggest regret in life is letting my personal feelings get in the way of doing my job. I liked him so much I just couldn't say no to him. So when he pleaded for me to let him go into that damned room with someone I didn't know, I just let him. I trusted his judgment and let him go without doing my fucking job and checking that asshole. And I lost him. He took a shaky breath and finally looked back up into Izuku's eyes. He blinked and reeled back a little as he noticed the other man was crying, and his heart sunk as he sat there anticipating for him to say exactly what everyone else had. That it wasn't his fault and he shouldn't feel guilty, as if he could ever believe that. I'm so sorry. It must be so hard to keep doing this job after losing someone like that. I'm sorry for how hard I've been trying to get closer to you, but I appreciate you telling me. Now that I know I'll be able to pay more attention to what I'm saying or doing that could cross any lines. What? No, you don't need to apologize. Why are you crying? I just felt so sad, imagining how that must have felt, and still feel. I never met Itsuki, but from what I saw and heard he seemed like a lovely person. He was a nightmare, always running late, making jokes instead of apologizing. His apartment was a mess, and he was too nice to people, all the time, like you. Oh. Anyway, enough of that. No more weird serious mushy talk, and please don't start acting differently because I told you. I didn't say all that to make you pity me. I'll try, but I also don't want to make you feel any worse about it. It was over 2 years ago now. I've had time to heal. I still feel guilty of course, but that'll never go away, so don't worry about me. Let me wash up. What? But you cooked? And? If you're actually planning for me to be your chef then I'll be doing both a lot. Wait, you'd actually accept that job? Probably. Like I said, I enjoy cooking, and I need money. He got up and gathered the bowls and plates, taking them back out to the kitchen to begin cleaning up, leaving Izuku sat at the table as he got lost in thought about everything Katsuki had said. But before he could start crying again he snapped himself out of it and pulled out his phone, realizing that just moping around would only make Katsuki feel worse, so he opened up his social media as a distraction. And of course the first thing he saw was the post Mina made about his interview earlier that day. Midoriya Izuku and Yuruka Ochako address the dating rumors after their latest big hit movie Distant Hearts. Watch now? Oh, so she really was only interested in that. He didn't bother watching the video, instead he scrolled to the comments to see how people were reacting. It was a mistake. OMG, Zuzu was so nervous. You can literally see the love in their eyes when they look at each other. They're so in love. #Zuzu Chako. Ochako handled the questions so professionally. Izuku is still just a baby at this stuff. He almost totally gave it away. It's okay. We know you want to keep your relationship private. #Zuzu Chako. What? How can they still be thinking that when we literally denied it? Everyone is taking everything so wrong. They said they weren't dating. Why do people still claim them to be lying? They must feel so uncomfortable. #sorry Zuzu. Izuku knew it was likely a bad idea in the long run, but he couldn't help himself and hit the heart on that person's post. They understood, and he appreciated it. However, within the next 2 minutes he was already facing the repercussions of said actions, as screenshots of him liking the post spread around. More of his fans began arguing against those who still believed he was dating Ochako. But in the chaos of all the arguments, there was a rapidly growing subsection of his fandom that were celebrating after the interview. Whoop, Zuzu Chako is dead, time for the gays to rise. #buff Zuzu, #baby Zuzu, #BBZZ. OMG at I Love Men 327, so real. I bet BBG was literally there at the interview watching it happen. He must have been so mad. He looks so hot when he's mad. #BBG step on me. What? Gays? BBG? What the heck is going on? Is that Katsuki as their profile pictures? Y'all, I'm totally finding the new ship way more interesting than the other slop. But can someone explain the ship names to me? I'm so lost. And I'm not your father, it's cause we don't know the bodyguard's name? So basically we all collectively decided he was buff bodyguard, hence BBG, but because BBG also means baby girl, he's just both now. LMAO. I mean, look at him, he's both buff and baby girl. Ugh, I'm obsessed. #so fucking hot. Izuku's face flushed the more he read. Not only had his bodyguard gone totally viral for being attractive, now his fans were shipping them. Not only did he have to worry about the dating rumors with his co-star, but now he had to be wary of what he did around Katsuki too. He continued scrolling, refreshing the pages and looking at specific hashtags, his mind whirling as he watched the start of a war between hordes of people who wanted him to date one person or the other. But the more he read, the more he started to get totally lost in the sauce, finding himself beginning to see certain points people were making. Like how the people defending BBZZ talked about how Katsuki looked at him, how it was his job to keep him safe and how romantic that is, how he and Ochako only ever interacted because they were pretending to be in love. Nothing romantic there at all. But then people would argue back that if the acting was purely a job and nothing more, then surely they can't claim different for the bodyguard, and he found himself feeling subconsciously disappointed at the realization. Humph, this is ridiculous. He could feel how warm his face was at this point, letting the embarrassment sink in as he realized he was getting invested in the idea that Katsuki might actually like him like that. And of course, right as he had his hands pressed to his rosy cheeks in a weak attempt to cool them down, the man himself walked back into the room. Whoa, what's up? Are you alright? I'm fine. But Katsuki was already in panic mode, lunging down to press a hand to the freckled man's forehead to feel his steadily rising temperature. You're burning up. Did my dumbass boss not give you the allergy paperwork? Did I cook something you're allergic to? No, I swear it's not like that. There's clearly something wrong. I'll have to take you to the hospital. My fans want us to date? The room fell silent as Katsuki froze and stared down into Izuku's embarrassed eyes in shock. The poor man only sighed and ran a hand through his hair, looking away shyly. What? They've seen us together a lot and I dunno, I guess they think we look good together. They're all calling you my buff bodyguard. Well, some baby girl, but... Excuse me, what? He frowned and reached forward to grab Izuku's phone, scrolling through all the crazed posts with photos of himself and people begging him to do some rather insane things to them, but also seeing the plethora of posts about the two of them together. Pictures of him staring across the room at Izuku, of his hands holding various parts of Izuku's body as he led him through crowds, even photos of Izuku sneaking the lemon lollipop into his jacket pocket. But the one that made his heart jump was just from today, as they were leaving the venue, Katsuki with said lollipop in his mouth as Izuku grinned giddily up at him. It instantly made him look away, handing the phone back to Izuku as he attempted to hide his face. I'm sorry, it turns out my fans can be a little crazy. You don't say. He sighed and slumped down onto the couch opposite Izuku, daring to glance back up at him and noticing that they were likely just as flustered as each other over this situation. I'm sorry you have to deal with even more of that shit. What? It's not your fault. Well, not entirely, but, I dunno, I'm clearly not helping the situation. You're just doing your job, don't feel bad please. Well, if it's made you uncomfortable around me then I understand, and I'll resign from my position. No please, you're the best bodyguard I've ever had. Of course I don't feel uncomfortable around you. You don't? Even though you know whenever I'm doing my job out with you everyone is going to scrutinize your every move and fabricate things to make it seem like you're in love with me and vice versa? Well, when you put it like that it sounds like a lot to deal with. Exactly. But it still doesn't mean I want you to quit, not at all. Aren't you offended? What? How? You know, people are just assuming you'd date a guy. You think I'd be offended by that? Well, I don't think one way or the other, I was just asking. I'm bisexual, and I don't take any offense to the idea that people think we could or should be dating. Katsuki's eyes widened and he felt a wave of guilt wash over him. He wasn't sure why he'd made such an assumption, especially after how Izuku reacted when he told him about Itsuki. He didn't question that they were both men at all. Sorry, I didn't mean for it to come across like that, like I was insinuating anything. Sigh, it's fine, I shouldn't have gotten so defensive. You must be completely overwhelmed right now. You went from having no presence online at all to hundreds of thousands of people knowing your face and being extremely attracted to you. It wasn't that many, right? Shit, I'm just a normal guy, why are they going so crazy? Well, not to defend them or anything, but I kind of understand. Well, you're definitely attractive. You know, when it comes to the variety of human faces and how everyone is beautiful in their own way, I just feel as though you have the sort of face and physique that a large number of people find attractive. You think I'm attractive? You think I'm cute? Yeah, I never denied that. Then yeah, I'm not denying it either. They both fell quiet and Katsuki blinked, gulping thickly before sitting up a little straighter on the couch. Ahem, so you don't want me to quit? No, I don't. Alright, then I guess I'll see you in a few days, unless the schedule changes. Yeah, sorry about all that. Sorry about everything tonight, I feel like I've been so out of it. You know, me too. Maybe it's good you've got no plans for a few days. Thank you for cooking. I'll speak to Ida about the chef thing, if you're still interested. Of course, don't walk me out, just stay inside. Sleep well, sunshine. Oh, okay, you too. He smiled softly and Katsuki hesitated for just a moment, so brief he hoped Izuku wouldn't notice, before he snapped into gear and headed toward the front door to go home. Fuck, stop it, Katsuki. This is not going to end well and you know it. The next day, Katsuki felt grateful to finally have a day off again. He did his usual routine, cooking breakfast, going for a run and working out, then getting back to his apartment and realizing he was bored. He thought back to what Izuku had said about him taking way too long to reply to texts, and remembered that he hadn't spoken to Kirishima since he was fired, then also remembered how he ignored Kaminari's messages for, well, years. So he pulled out his phone to message both of them, deciding that spending time with friends today might be nice, and besides, he'd always thought the two of them would get along if they ever met. They agreed to meet up in a few hours, so all Katsuki had to do was stew in his boredom before getting ready and heading out to a local bar. Bakugo, man, I was beginning to think you'd completely forgotten about me. Seriously, dude? It's just been busy, but my bad for not messaging. It's alright, I'm just glad to see you. I assume Kaminari isn't here yet? Nope, just me till now, but hey, how have you been? Fine, I dunno, it's going fine. You don't sound very enthusiastic. When do I ever sound enthusiastic about anything? I just don't want to talk about work. Hey, I told you we'd be the last here? Yeah, sorry, I know I probably should have asked, but you didn't even tell them I'd be coming along? I figured it would be fine. I didn't want to cancel seeing you, but I couldn't pass up an opportunity to meet Bakugo's friend. Hi, that's me, Kirishima, nice to meet you. Kaminari, I assume? Kiri stood up and held a hand out for Kaminari to shake. He obliged with a grin and then looked to Bakugo, who was looking at him with those cold, frustrated eyes. I'm sorry, man. Look, I swear it'll be fine. This is Hanta. Siro, babe, you gotta tell people the name they'll call me. Right? This is my boyfriend. We started dating like almost 2 years ago now, right? Yup, anniversary is next month. He spoke a lot about you, Bakugo. It's nice to meet you. The blonde man looked up and felt his chest squeeze with guilt as he hesitantly shook Siro's hand. He could only assume that Kami would have mentioned how he vanished without a word and never responded to any of his messages. Well, hey, I say the more the merrier. Let's get a round of drinks, yeah? I'll come up with you. The two left and Kaminari sat down at the table, making Katsuki sigh subconsciously and the poor guy tense up in his seat. Sorry? What? I dunno, you seem really annoyed. I'm not. I should be the one apologizing to you. I was a shit friend. That's an understatement. Oh, it's alright. I know you were going through a lot. I just figured I needed to give you space. I still shouldn't have ghosted you. I think I was sabotaging myself. Didn't think I deserved a real friend after what I did. I really missed you, man. Please don't think that way. I'm so glad you messaged today, and I am sorry for bringing Hanta without saying anything. I was just so excited for you to meet him. I am a little surprised, honestly. What? That I actually have a partner? Yeah, back when I knew you, you were so set on the whole not settling down thing. Fucking horn dog. Hey, there's nothing wrong with wanting to experiment and find yourself, but once I met Hanta, I dunno, I've not even given anyone a second glance since. I'm so in love with him, it's crazy. Then I'm happy for you. Thank you. My ears are burning. 'Cause I was talking about how amazing you are and how much I love you. You can't drag me along unannounced and then sing my praises. These guys don't wanna hear that. I'm glad he had you. I know your impression of me might not be the best. What? Are you kidding? Kami never shut up about how great you are. I guess the only negative thing I felt about you was a little jealousy that he thought so highly of you. Hey, you're embarrassing me. Stop. Cha, you don't have to say all that. I literally vanished off the face of the earth, left him without a word. I was so selfish. Well, he's never said anything like that to me, just all the funny memories he had with you, and how he hoped you were doing well. God, I'm such a shit person. You were a wreck, man. When I met you, you weren't in any place to be keeping up friendships. I'm glad he eventually made a friend out of you though, Kirishima. I don't think we had a single meaningful conversation until about 7 months into meeting. I hated seeing how he was always smiling. It felt like he had everything perfect and I was falling apart. I hated him before I knew anything about him. Hey, but eventually we talked it out. You opened up, so did I, and you're not that same person I first met anymore. Oh, speaking of that, how actually is the new job going? What? With Izuku? I mean, surely you've seen everything going around online. You're pretty much famous too at this point. How the heck are you handling that? Ugh, do we have to talk about that? What? You're famous? Since when? Oh, don't tell me you're another one with no social media. No, I do have an account, I just hardly go online. I'm similar, but Denki told me all about what's been going on. What happened? He looked to Katsuki expectantly, but the blonde man just had his head in his hands as he sighed deeply. His fans are fucking crazy, that's what. They're all totally obsessed with him, it's wild. What? Bakugo? I've seen the posts, some of them are unhinged. I saw one account and all they post is pictures of him with the wildest captions, like begging him to rail them so hard it. Alright man, can we spare the graphic details? Holy shit, that's wild. So you've got fans now too, huh? Unfortunately. But it's not just that. You've seen the shipping, right? Shipping? It's like wanting people to be in a relationship. Fans ship people together. They ship Bakugo? With who? With Izuku, obviously. I really didn't want to talk about any of this. But dude, it's massive. I've seen the pictures too. It seems pretty convincing. Pictures of what? Of Bakugo looking wistfully at him, or holding his back all protectively, or the way Izuku looks at him with literal stars in his eyes. Ugh, can we talk about how cute he is actually? I don't pay much attention to celebrities and stuff, but I get why he blew up so fast. He just seems like a precious little ray of sunshine. I don't actually think I've seen him. Katsuki hadn't looked back up since burying his head in his hands, and as Kaminari searched the photos of him and Izuku to show Kirishima, he absolutely couldn't look up now. His heart was thumping hard in his chest, and he knew his face was red. This whole topic continually left him a flustered mess. Knowing so many thousands of people around the world obsess over the idea that he and Izuku are totally smitten with one another, it was ridiculous. This is crazy. Hey I know we're all joking around, but Bakugo, are you alright? Just peachy. I'm not talking about all these people online. What? He frowned and finally looked up to meet his friend's eyes, and Kirishima was looking at him with so much concern, it made him panic a little. Then what do you mean? Just, you know, getting so close to who you're working for again. Katsuki's eyes widened. He could have sworn his whole body stopped working. His heart stopped beating. His lungs stopped breathing. All in an instant as his mind flashed with the image of Itsuki's lifeless body being wheeled away on a stretcher. Only this time it wasn't Itsuki, it was Izuku. Fuck, I gotta go to the bathroom. He shot out of his seat and raced into the toilets, locking himself in a stall and resting his head against the cold plastic of the door as his lungs began heaving. He thought he was over it. He told Izuku as much just yesterday, how he'd healed. All he felt was guilt, but it wasn't true. He just hadn't had a panic attack in a while, so told himself he must be miraculously cured of all his anxiety and PTSD. Only a few moments later he heard the door open again, and the bustle of footsteps entering the bathroom. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said it like that. I'm just worried about you. Remembering how you were when I first met you made me panic. I would hate to see you like that again. And I would hate to lose you again. We just want to make sure you're not pushing yourself back down that path. I would never let that happen again. I would never let that happen to Izuku. He huffed and opened the door, heading over to the sinks to splash his face with cold water and continue taking deep breaths. Hey, come on man, we're here for you. I'm fine. He snapped and gripped the counter as his chest squeezed almost painfully, but once the wave of exhaustion hit him he managed to get his breathing back to normal. He hated the aftermath of panic attacks, how his insides felt hollow and shaky, his hands buzzed with a cold pins and needles sensation, and his voice became hoarse from the dryness at the back of his throat. His friends looked at him with worry in their eyes, and he hated that too, the feeling of being pitied, that people thought he was pathetic. Even Izuku looked at him like that when he explained what happened. But with Izuku, he didn't feel small, he felt understood. I'm sorry I ruined your night. It's not your fault, I just haven't felt like that in a while, it caught me off guard. I'm okay though, I swear, I'm fine. They didn't believe him, but they didn't push it. Instead Kirishima reached up to squeeze his shoulder gently before they all shuffled back out to their table. Sorry babe, didn't mean to just rush off and leave you here. It's fine. I just hope everything's alright. I just need that drink. Luckily his friends were good in situations like this, and they managed to keep their vibes up the rest of the night. Katsuki was quiet, more so than usual, but they understood and just took the time to get to know each other better. Katsuki tried not to stew in his feelings all night. He didn't want to go home. He wanted to spend the time out with people he knew cared about him. He needed to, but he was exhausted. So they called it a night a little earlier than initially expected. He kept to himself for the next couple days. He had no plans, working out more than he probably should, but it was his favorite distraction. Even after he went back to work, going on more chaotic outings while Izuku was still on the movie's press tour, he was grateful it was so busy he could stay distracted. Even Izuku seemed to be smothering him a little less. Until about a week had passed since his panic attack at the bar, and he was just dropping Izuku home after his last appearance for the press tour of Distant Hearts. It was finally over. Ah, this is bittersweet. My first massive role, and all the talking I need to do about it is already over. Feels like it was a whole lifetime, but also, I'm not ready to move on yet. Have you even thought about what you're doing next? Murko-san has been bugging me about it. She's given me a list of options, different people who really want me to be part of whatever it is they're making, but only one of them really stood out to me. Well hey, that's a plus, go for it then. It's a series, and I'd be the lead again. I've never been the main character of a series before. Also it's another romance and I dunno if I can keep dealing with all these rumors. Even if it wasn't a romance, the rumors are bound to happen regardless. It happens to everyone. So if this is what interests you, then fuck all that and do it. Yeah, I guess, it just really excites me because it's a gay love story. I'd love to be that representation for people and to be able to tell my fans that I'm proudly bisexual. Katsuki's heart dropped and he froze in place. Midway through chopping up the onions for their dinner, the image of Izuku flirting with and even kissing a random man popped into his mind and he subconsciously gripped the knife a little tighter. Are you sure that's such a good idea when you're so early in your career? What? Well, it's a little controversial, right? I don't care about that. If people are going to think badly of me because I'm kissing a man on screen, then I don't want their support anyway. Right? Sorry. I think my fans would love it anyway, at least the big group of them that won't stop talking about me and you. They're still doing that? Of course. It's only gotten worse since that cute interview I did with the puppies the other day. Well, that's 'cause you called me over all of a sudden. You know, I still can't believe you did that. I could see you looking at the puppies like you wanted to pet them. I couldn't just leave you stood behind the camera. My fans love you. I wanted to give them a little treat. You're only going to make them keep talking about us. I don't really mind. I find their posts quite funny, or cute. I might as well make a social media account at this point. At least if they knew my name they'd stop calling me fucking baby girl. OMG, really? Please do. I'd totally follow you. It's not like I'm gonna post anything anyway, but it doesn't matter. Come over here, I'll help you set it up. I'm cooking. Doesn't it all need to simmer in the pot for a while anyway? Ugh, I guess. Fine. He huffed and headed round the counter to sit beside Izuku on a bar stool, pulling out his phone and handing it to the giddy man so he could download whatever app he needed and start creating his account. What should your username be? I dunno, my name? Izuku tried to type in Bakugo Katsuki but the username was already taken, making the blonde man glare down at his phone incredulously. Who the hell stole my name? Pfft, someone out there obviously has the same name as you. You'll have to think a little harder. Your display name can always be your name, that can be changed whenever you want. The username is the tricky one. Well, I don't fucking know, you choose something. He thought for a moment before Katsuki watched a devious grin spread across his face as he begun typing. At Katsuki_BBG. Huh? It's not taken. What? I can't use that. The whole point was to get them to stop calling me that. Oh come on, it's funny. Plus at least if your display name is just Bakugo Katsuki then they'll know your name. Cha, you're a real brat, you know that? He giggled before moving on to the next stage and handing the phone back to Katsuki so he could set a password and then type his display name. Then came time for the profile picture. Surely you have some selfies saved, right? Seriously? Right, of course you don't. Well then take one now. Take a photo of myself right now, or I can take it for you? Sure, that's slightly less awkward. He could feel his cheeks warming up as Izuku took the phone back and stepped off his seat, aiming the phone at his face as Katsuki merely sat there with his usual frown. Oh come on, at least try to smile or something. No way. I guess the fans do always say you look hot when you're mad. Fine, whatever. Here, how's that? It's just me. Yeah, it's good. Okay, so that's done then. Create. He clapped giddily and Katsuki created the account, feeling his chest squeeze a little with nerves. He wasn't sure why. It was just a silly account online. He didn't have to do anything with it. Within a minute his phone dinged with the notification that Zuzu_Midoriya had followed him, and he couldn't help raise an eyebrow. Zuzu? It's what my fans call me? So you called yourself that? Hey, it's cute. I like it. Alright, whatever you say, Zuzu. You aren't allowed to call me that? Why not? Am I not a fan? No, and it sounds weird when you say it. What do you mean? I'm totally a fan, and how does it sound weird? You haven't even seen any of my movies, and I prefer when you call me Sunshine. It feels more special. Cha, your movies are all too mushy for me. Star in a superhero movie, then I'll watch it. Humph, people only want me for drama and romance stuff right now. 'Cause they know you're good at it. You must be really good at pretending you're in love. I guess, I just love love, but I've never been in love for real. Oh, really? I had a girlfriend in high school, but I just feel like we dated 'cause we got along well, you know? It was just a whatever relationship, and I've been on dates with a bunch of people but it never goes anywhere. It'll be harder to date now you're famous too. True, maybe I'll die alone. What? That's ridiculous. Not if I never fall in love? You will. Hey, I'm sure you will too. Izuku was cut off as suddenly Katsuki's phone began dinging repeatedly. He picked it up and switched it to silent in shock as he stared at the screen, watching the names flooding across his screen as people began following his new account. Whoa, that was fast. Ah, my fans saw that I followed you. Oh my god, he's online, you guys, this is not a drill? Izuku just followed a brand new account at Katsuki_BBG. BBG is online, I repeat, BBG is online. Oh my god, there's like thousands already. I know you said you wouldn't post, but you should at least post once. I guess. Wait, I know what to say. Izuku shuffled closer on his seat as Katsuki began typing out his first ever social media post, and he instantly burst out laughing as he clicked post. Stop calling me baby girl. You do realize that's gonna make them wanna do it more, right? Nah, they'll listen to me. You really don't know social media, do you? Hey, look, someone is listening. Whatever you say, sir. I'll call you whatever you want. Holy fine ass man. Are we ignoring the hashtag? Yes. You're in for a treat, but you might want to turn off your notifications. Oh, look. Are you with Zuzu right now? Did he get you to make this? Maybe I should say something. What would you say? But Izuku didn't reply. He merely span in his seat, leaned closer to Katsuki and held his phone out, posing cutely as he took a selfie of them both. Whoa, what? You're gonna post that? Yeah, you're hardly even in it, don't worry. My fans will love to know we're together. They're just going to make the rumors worse. You're the one always telling me not to worry about the rumors. That doesn't mean you should encourage them? But it was too late. He looked down at his phone to see himself tagged in a new post. I convinced this grump to finally make an account. Go give him some love. It's already blowing up. Now I'm blowing up. What have you done? You know you're always saying you need money. You could totally get money just from social media if you get enough fans. Absolutely not. Everyone loves you? Oh, I mean they are mostly just talking about us being together. Look, they're having dinner together. Is this date night? Hashtag Katsuki, new ship name by the way y'all? At least they aren't calling us Babyzuku anymore. Oh shit, dinner? I almost forgot. He jumped up to check the pans as Izuku continued scrolling and giggling at all the posts. Their food was in fact done now, so Katsuki dished it all up and brought it back round to their counter seats in bowls. Put your phone away while we eat. I'm sure Inko raised you better than that. Sorry? I was having fun looking at everyone's reactions, but I was about to put it down, I swear. Cha, why do you enjoy encouraging your fans like that? Well, it's weird. When they say things like that about me and Yuruka-san, I feel uncomfortable about it, but with you I don't mind. Maybe it's because I think Yuruka-san must be really uncomfortable too, but with you I can just joke around about it. Humph, you're saying you don't care if I'm uncomfortable? What? Oh god, I am, aren't I? I'm so sorry. I'll stop encouraging them. What? No, oh my god, relax. I was just kidding. What? Really? Yeah, it doesn't bother me. It's fine. At least they know my name now, so it's less weird to see. Humph, you're totally mean for making me freak out like that. How is that my fault? You never joke about anything, how am I supposed to know? God, you're such a baby. Sorry for freaking you out, sunshine. Oh, that's okay. That word really is a cheat code, huh? Maybe. The food is super good as usual, by the way. Thank you. You're welcome. You know, I've been thinking. Oh dear. Shush. Since you agreed so easily to be my chef, would you maybe agree to be my personal trainer too? Katsuki froze and almost dropped his fork, looking to Izuku with an incredulous frown. I may as well fucking move in if we're gonna be spending that much time together, geez. I have plenty spare rooms, this house is too big for me on my own anyway. Izuku, if you cook dinner and help me work out every day, then you can live here for free. You're insane. But why? I can't just move into your house, that's ridiculous. Sigh. Okay, well surely you can work out with me like sometimes, at least once, come on. Stop looking at me like that. But I know it works. Fuck you. Fine. Tomorrow, you have a meeting with your agency and then nothing after 2 p.m. We'll go work out. Yay? There's a gym nearby that has like a private section for famous people. If I call up tonight they might have space for us. Oh, and thank you. He grinned giddily as he pulled his phone out again, swinging his legs under the counter as he searched for the number, and Katsuki continued eating with a sigh. It's gotten so bad that even he realizes now, I literally can't say no. Fuck, that's dangerous. End of part 2. Before you panic, of course there's going to be a part 3. Part 3 will very likely be the final part of this series, and I already have the main idea of how I want it to go. So I hope you guys are enjoying this. I personally am enjoying writing it, even though I did struggle quite a bit for this part. Ahem, I'm enjoying the concept a lot though. Hopefully I'll be able to get part 3 done in 2 weeks too, so look out for it. Love y'all, thank you for watching, bye.